My mother always claimed my father wasn't human. I thought she'd lost her mind until I saw him myself. My mother used to whisper that my father was something greater than human. Not a man, not a myth, but a being from beyond the veil of stars. I thought she was delusional until I saw him with my own eyes. From the moment I could remember, the house we lived in was soaked in her madness. The wallpaper peeled like shedding skin, the crucifixes were turned upside down or cracked, and the old television played nothing but religious broadcasts on loop, sometimes in languages I couldn't recognize. Silence always followed her sobbing at night, a heavy, almost reverent silence that seemed to press in on the walls. But the thing that terrified me most was the icon of the Virgin Mary that hung in the hallway, her face cracked right through the eyes. I swear she watched me. My mother always smelled of alcohol, sometimes mixed with incense, sometimes with something like sulfur. She drank from the moment the sun rose until it dipped below the hills. I never knew my father. And whenever I asked about him, her eyes would glaze over, and she'd rasp with certainty, "Your father was an angel. A real angel." She didn't mean it metaphorically. She wasn't saying he was kind or selfless. She meant it literally, a celestial being. She said he came to her in light and shadow. Sometimes she'd grab my face so hard her nails would scratch my skin and whisper, "You carry his blood, Ezekiel. His sacred, eternal blood." I believed her when I was little. I even bragged about it in kindergarten until the laughter and mocking haunted me all the way to high school. I stopped asking, stopped believing, but she never did. If anything, she became more fanatical. She stopped going outside. She filled notebooks with strange symbols. She scrawled scripture on the walls in languages I couldn't read. The attic, which was always locked, sometimes thumped at night. I left as soon as I could. I was 17 when I packed my bags and disappeared into the world. I changed my name. I never answered her calls. I worked odd jobs, made new friends, and told everyone I was an orphan. I even started drinking, lightly. Just to understand her. But never to become her. Despite all that, I never escaped the feeling that something was watching me. Sometimes I'd turn corners and feel wind on my neck. Other times I'd wake up and find my furniture slightly rearranged. Once, while crossing the street, I stopped for no reason and a delivery truck sped by inches from where I would have been. Years passed. Then one night, I got 10 voice messages from her in a row. The first few were unintelligible sobs. The next few were chants, prayers, or invocations. But the final message chilled me. "He's coming for you. Your father, he's returned. He's coming for you, Ezekiel." I listened to that message on loop. Something inside me shattered. I hadn't spoken to her in years. She wasn't supposed to have my number anymore. The next day, I got a call from a hospital. She had been admitted to the psychiatric wing after neighbors reported screaming, lights flashing, and the smell of something burning. The nurse said, "We need you to collect her things. There's something strange in the house." I didn't want to go back. But I did. The house was darker than I remembered. Not in terms of lighting, just darker. Her things were packed in a clear plastic bin. Inside were old photos, a dried bouquet, a rusted crucifix, and two things that stood out: a thick, leather-bound journal and a long black feather, so wide and glossy it looked almost metallic. The walls were covered in sigils. Most had been hidden behind furniture. But her room was a shrine. A massive mural of a winged figure had been drawn in what I knew, deep down, was blood. Candles had melted into pools of wax on the floor, and mirrors had been covered with burlap. I took the journal and left. That night, I tried to read it. The words started innocently. She wrote about my birth. How beautiful I was. How much I looked like him. Never a name. Never a proper noun, just he, him, or my beloved. Then things darkened. She wrote of summoning rituals. Of voices in the attic. Of visions of fire, eyes, and wings. Of offerings made in secret. Of an angel not from heaven but from somewhere deeper, somewhere forgotten. He came again. He asked for our son. He said it is time. He said the blood must continue. The last entry chilled me. I won't let him take Ezekiel. He promised I would go instead. I will stop him. I will. It trailed off. That night, I heard scratching from the attic. Rhythmic, deliberate. Not rats. Not wind. It sounded like something carving into wood. Then came the dreams. Wings like tar, eyes like dying stars, and a voice that echoed inside my ribs. Ezekiel. I awoke with my nose bleeding. Feathers drifted around me. The window was open. My phone screen flickered with static. I visited a church. The priest was ancient. He stared at me too long. Some angels, he said, were never meant to touch earth again. Some defied orders. Some bred abominations. If one of them is your father, you must never let him in. Do not look at his face. Do not speak his name. If you do, you'll become like him. I didn't sleep for days. I started seeing shadows with wings. Mirrors distorted my reflection. My fingertips went numb. My bones felt hollow. My pupils became golden slits. Then, one night, I got a call, she was dead. Cardiac arrest. But when I hung up, the lights flickered. The air smelled like burning feathers and cinnamon. The TV turned on by itself. Static. Then rhythm. Then a shape. A figure of wings and shadow appeared behind the screen. The TV warped, glass bending outward like something was trying to crawl through. Then a voice. You are ready. A hand burst through the screen. Black claws. Metallic shine. Light and shadow wrapped around each finger. I couldn't move. The figure pulled itself through. It had my face. But wrong. Elongated. Celestial. Twisted. Its voice sang and whispered simultaneously. My son. I passed out. I woke up days later. My back hurt like something was trying to split it apart. My teeth had fallen out and were replaced by sharper ones. I could hear whispers in pipes, from beneath floorboards, in my own blood. The priest was right. I should never have looked. But it's too late now. I no longer sleep. My wings are growing. My body rejects food, but I feed on energy, on prayer. Light bends around me. Glass cracks when I pass. Children cry without knowing why. Birds fall from the sky. Last night, he came again. He showed me what comes next: skies torn open, cities silenced, oceans replaced by glass and wings. Thrones of bone and fire. I will walk between realms. He said my name would be known, whispered in prayers of both worship and fear. My mother stands beside him now, radiant and mad with joy. He says the bloodline will continue. And now, I believe him.